Absolutely not. No typical chorister. In the same way that all boys at NCS are individual and unique, every chorister comes in with their own set of characteristics and traits which make them the really passionate musicians that we love working with on a day-to-day basis.
I think there's no one typical kind of boy that makes a good chorister. There's certainly not a stereotypical one. I think what we're looking for is somebody who is engaged, interested, obviously has some potential, but not somebody that's been over-prepared in advance. It's about being able to coexist with lots of other young people, listen to guidance and love what they're doing.
So the choristers have a very specific schedule that works around their singing commitments during the school day that specifically targets that time after the school day that allows boys to complete their prep before the end of an evensong during the working week. That time is used really effectively from the boys. We teach them and give them a lot of support in time management, making sure that they're able to complete their prep before they get home for tea on an evening after evensong. With regards to sport and other activities, we have no Sunday morning services, which means that we have many boys that perform, that do sport activities sort of throughout the weekend or later on in the evening. But that Sunday morning for them is a really, really beneficial time for them to be enjoying other activities outside of their choir time.
We work very hard to make sure that the choristers coexist very happily with the other boys in the school, and a big part of that is making sure that the timetable works for everybody involved. So there's absolutely no problem at all with boys taking part in many other activities. Their academic lessons certainly aren't affected by their chorister lives. A lot of them do end up playing sport on weekends. They play sport in the evenings. They obviously play sport in school. And there's actually a symbiosis between the kind of teamwork, dedication that you need to get on in a choir like that at New College, and indeed in a sports team. And academically, there's absolutely no problem at all balancing their academic lives with the musical lives and the lives in the choir and in chapel. As I say, there's plenty of opportunity for their academic work to get done, and we carefully structure the timetable to make sure that that there is time for everything and a space for everything. We are lucky to have a very large and talented team of staff who support the boys in various different ways. So from the headmaster down really in terms of school staff, we have dedicated chorister tutors who look after the logistical and pastoral concerns of the choristers. I work very closely with the organist of New College to make sure that the boys' well-being is at the forefront of everything that we do. So that can be weekly meetings between the two of us, or pretty much seeing each other daily in chapel and in college to make sure that there's joined-up thinking between the two parts of the enterprise. And all the staff in the school are very aware of the fact that the choristers have a sometimes demanding schedule, and we factor that into what we expect of them when they're back over on this side of the road.
We're really lucky at New College that we have a huge network, a huge support system that works not just over in college but here in school to make sure that the boys are cared for and looked after, not just in their singing lives but in their academic and personal development as well. There are 2 chorister tutors, myself as one of them. I've really enjoyed seeing the boys at least twice a day usually, checking in with them, seeing how they are each and every day. So we are able to make sure that we are able to provide as much support as possible wherever needed.
The skills that a chorister develops over their time in the choir are probably too many to list in one go. They obviously get to develop their teamwork. It's quite an unusual enterprise in the sense that you have year 3s and 4s working alongside year 7s and year 8s, learning from them, and then the older boys almost being kind of big brothers to the younger boys and helping them get through it. So you have that sense of verticality, which of course develops leadership skills, the collaboration that comes from working as a team day in, day out, and also touring together when that's possible. And yes, perseverance, dedication, time management. The choristers are very busy young people, so they get very used to getting on with what they need to do and getting it out of the way, so they have plenty of other time to devote to their either to their singing or any other activity that they want to do later in the day or on the weekends or in the vacations, to make sure that they do have a rounded childhood.
There are such a huge range of skills that the choristers develop over their time in the choir. I'd say obviously the key ones are that of teamwork, being able to work as part of a group that perform almost daily alongside each other, not just in service and rehearsal situations, but also spending time at tea times, on tours, on planes, travelling to and from all of the fabulous concerts that we're looking forward to them taking part in as and when we're able to do so. I'd say a really, really key one is communication. Musically, they spend an awful lot of time looking at the text of music, making sure that they are spending time dedicating their performance to what the text is trying to say. With that, I notice the eloquence with which many choristers articulate their views, are able to communicate with other people, not just their peers, but staff as well. That sense of communication in those boys is particularly special.